Welcome back to Frontline Eurosports Online. Your host Nate Jennings has Josh with us today, and he's going to be taking ownership of this 2018 BMW G310. You've been seeing them on Crated, now you're seeing the owners take them home and enjoy a whole new lifestyle with the BMW Motorrad you can pick up for under $5,000. So, Josh, you ready for the delivery of your new G310?
Damn right.
Hell yeah. That's what we're talking about. So we're going to go around the perimeter of this motorcycle and go over all the aspects of it. Then we're going to get into the handlebars and controls and go through the very informative BMW instrumentation. So the very first thing we give everybody is a tire safety warning. Ride like you're riding in the rain for the first 50 to 100 miles. You're also acclimating to a new motorcycle, so we want to be cautious anyway. It has a silicone coating on it to pop out the mold, preserve shelf life. So you're running on a set of the Pilot radials from Michelin right here. And I'm going to show you in a little bit where we can check our tire pressure and know what tire pressure to run front and rear on this BMW G310. We have the beautiful gold inverted fork legs with a single disc braking system that does feature ABS, and it has a steel braided brake line that's running up to your master cylinder up here, which has a sight glass for fluid level and fluid clarity. So moving back from that, we need to look at the fact that we're on a single cylinder, 313cc, 34 horsepower power plant that is flopped backwards, so our header pipe is actually coming out the back, keeping all the residual heat from exhaust away from the Pilot, which is a really nice feature. It's a water-cooled system, and the water cooling system is in the front with a radiator, and you'll have a overflow right here that you can see the fluid levels. As we shake it right there, you look through this crack and you can check your min-max levels on your coolant. It's a dual overhead cam system, and it is a single engine with transmission setup. So you drop the oil, you drop everything in this, and it's a quick, easy serviceability with a nice spin-on filter located right on the front of this bike right here. Our oil fill, our spin-on filter, and obviously on the bottom is going to be our drain for this bad boy. Rondelle, gotta have that on our machine. We have our rear brake pedal assembly with the master cylinder hidden behind the hill guard over here, which also houses our pillion pegs. Those are both collapsible and has a feeler gauge on it for those extreme lean angles that we're going to be achieving as we take you to the track to ride with Pre. We have our one rubber hose that does go up to our fluid overflow for the rear brake reservoir right here. That's going to give us our fluid level and fluid clarity. Our hydraulic dampening system, our forks, our front and rear braking system, our hydraulic properties. They condensate and draw moisture. So we want to service those per our owner's manual that I'll get to under the seat here in a hot second. We have our factory canister, which they do have a Kropovich upgrades that we can do if you want a little bit of a lighter canister, smaller size, with a little bit more punch out of the machine. So as we go back, we can see our big shock exposed in the back right here, which does have preload adjustability. No damping or rebound, but it does have preload adjustability on that bad boy. Coming back to the swing arm, we're going to have our correlating 17-inch rim in the back here, and our axle and our chain adjuster blocks. That's something we want to maintain and do maintenance to. We want to make sure that our chain tension is correct, which is a lot more visible over here on the left-hand side of the machine. Right now you see it having a white hue to it. It's because it's heavily lubricated with a lithium grease to help it being transported from overseas to keep any corrosion from happening. We want to keep it lubricated with proper technique. You can always call us, talk to us, and we'll give you guidance in that. But we want to make sure our chain tension is correct as well. It even gives you 40 to 50 millimeters of slack from the tightest spot of the chain. It's right here on the side of the swing arm, so you know what you're looking for. You don't ever want a chain that's super, super tight. As you are changing the geometry of the bike, putting weight on it and hitting bumps, you're extending the countershaft sprocket through our axle distance and tightening the chain as it is. So we want to make sure there is a good play in there, but not too much play. Call that my little 8-pound snake that can bite you in the back of the leg, your engine case, or your buddy behind you. So maintain our chain. I want to take our key out of the lock cylinder here, because right we're in this position, we can locate our lock cylinder to remove the seat. As we take the seat off, first thing I'm going to show you is your owner's manual right here in this nice pouch under the back part of the seat. We have a toolkit. I'm actually going to open up that toolkit and show you what it has in it, because they do a really nice job with giving us a spanner wrench, our screwdriver, which is a Phillips head on both ends on that bad boy. We have our 16 millimeters, our 10 millimeters. We have our axle adjustment tools. We have a handle for those tools, and our smaller 12, and 13 millimeters here. We'll stuff that back into your handy dandy pouch, which also does go in a location that has enough room to add things like our Virginia State inspection slips and our registration, so we can keep that and maintain that on our person at all time. As we come forward, we're going to have our battery, a fuse puller sitting on top of that for our fuse box here, and this is our ABS module right here under our saddle. So that is what is giving us our anti-lock braking system. That is working our front and rear wheel speeds to make sure we don't have any slippage. We're going to put this saddle back on. Just sliding the front tongue on there, slapping it on in the back. Take our key, put it back into the ignition. That same key is going to operate our fuel filler right here so that we can access our fuel. We have a 6-speed gearbox, 1 down and 5 up. It is a linkage system, so that gives us the ability to adjust this pedal. As I know, being a veteran, and you're a veteran, we have injuries and things that we maintained or acquired over there and brought back with us that hinder our ability to get under the shift pedal sometimes or find that right location. We can utilize riding boots that are thinner, or we have bigger work boots, and we can make adjustments for what kind of apparel we're wearing on our feet. We have our stator cover located on this side of the motorcycle and our starter located on the very front of this machine. We have our clutch actuation rod hidden back here, which the adjustment is right in the center on top of the transmission for major adjustments. That's more along the lines of things that we'll be doing for you. And you have minor adjustments for the clutch cable up top side. We want to maintain about 1/8 of an inch of play between the perch and the lever. And that's going to be about a nickel's worth before we start to feel the clutch actuation there to give us a little bit of free play so we're not prematurely wearing out our clutch. Put that cover back on for you. Going into the handlebars and controls, we're going to have a conventional twist throttle. We already reviewed our front brake lever. We have a run cycle button and our start right below that. Working across to our left handlebar, our horn, conventional location for turn signals, high beam constant, low beam, and a flash button back here. Badass BMW coming through, get out the way. So if you want to turn your key on for the first time, we can go into the instrumentation and feel free to jump aboard your G310R. So our headlight comes on as it does on all US motorcycles, so we'll always have that on anytime we turn our key on. And we're going to see our fuel display, our digital tachometer, our speedometer, our gear indicator, 1 in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, timepiece up top side. And right now, there is one button that's going to operate all of your board computer here. We're starting out with odometer. We hit trip 1, trip 2, our engine temperature, our range on fuel tank estimated, consumption averages, which it's going to go way up from 24. You saw you had 1 mile on the bike. Instantaneous fuel economy, our average speed, our date, and then our setup menu. I can show you how to do that. Actually, I probably should for everybody else. We'll hold that button, go into setup. You start with the ability to set your time. You just hit the button independently or constantly hold to override since we already have it set for you.
Do we have a 24-hour clock?
It's going to be standard time, not military time, unfortunately. And now we've reviewed everything and setting up our date and our timepiece that we can slide through with the push of just that one button. We have turn signals up top side there. We have our high beam. We have a low fuel indicator that goes along with your bar graph. That'll give you an indication that you have now hit your reserve level. Our ABS light is flashing. That is right now saying that, hey buddy, right now I haven't moved my tires and wheels to verify that I'm functional for you. So let me move 5 feet, 5 miles an hour or so, and I'll go away. Unless you see that light as a solid, then you know that there might be an issue with the ABS system you want us to investigate. There's also another triangle over there. That's a warning light. And then we have a frost warning light on the very bottom right-hand side. So we've now gone over your new 2018 BMW G310 in the cosmic black color. Is there any questions that you have for us right now, Josh?
No, it's pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet?
Pretty sweet, looking forward to it.
Excited to ride it.
Yeah.
Would you be opposed to letting us wheel this bad boy outside and let everybody else that's watching hear your new G310?
Sure.
Let's do it, man. Freaking A. Here comes that G310. So we got one twist of the key. I always pull my clutch in for safety to make sure.
Give it a rip.
Give it a rip. The old G310 starts right up. One of the great things about this bike, it is not overly loud. It doesn't have an excessive amount of noise. We can increase that with the Propovich if we chose to. But it's the ability to be a little sleeper commuter and sneak out early in the mornings without waking everybody up. So, thanks, Ron. Congratulations from us too. Welcome to the Frontline family, and we'll see you with more action at Frontline Eurosports Online.